Warning. The Dragon Between podcast may contain language and adult humor that is unsuitable for those 13 years and younger. Viewer discretion is advised. You're listening to the Dragon Between podcast, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign that takes place in the Eberron pulp fantasy setting created by Keith Baker. New episodes are recorded every other Sunday and released on the following week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel for clips and future episodes. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter for updates and news on the podcast. Thank you for listening, and now on with the show. When the characters last met, the Horizon Corps ventured out on the Glum River, gliding along aboard an elemental catamaran owned by the half-orc Ghanima. After getting to know their boat captain a bit, the group settled in for the long journey to the crawling swamp. The party took turns keeping watch for the night while Ghanima's engine recharged. They woke in the morning to find that Aurie and Ender were in a bit of a disheveled state, as if they had been sleepwalking in the swamp. Their captain then alerted the party to a disturbance somewhere on the shore and someone yelling out. The group donned their gear and headed out to investigate, while Ghanima protected the catamaran. The party then discovered an outpost that was currently under siege from ambulatory plant creatures, some of which were currently engaged in battle with a red-headed woman armed with a greatsword. The group were ultimately victorious and greeted the stranger who called herself Red Sharpclaw. The characters then accepted an invitation to rest at the outpost. Rewinding the clock a bit to the night prior, some time after Eli's watch, Aurie and Ender found themselves transported to a very strange place. A creature that was later revealed to be something called a mind flayer placed creatures into their heads and sent them off to a rejuvenation chamber filled with other captives. It was there that Ender learned from an imprisoned beholder calling itself Zesh that he and Aurie were infected with mind flayer tadpoles, undergoing something called seromorphosis, and that it was imperative that they escape and find a means to remove the parasites. Zesh explained that if the group dealt with a creature crawling on the ceiling of the chamber, it would help them all escape. Aurie then used her abilities to inspect the cone-like aberration crawling on the ceiling of the chamber and let loose with her heat metal spell, searing the creature. A fight then broke out between the captives and the flayer thralls, eventually summoning 2 of the nightmarish creatures to the chamber. The party were then shocked as the wizard Ramalia morphed into one of the hideous mind flayers. The levitating flares begin speaking into all of your heads at once, following the blast of psionic energy that has left Yaliak stunned within the grasp of the Europhian. Peace. Calm yourselves. Give in. This reverberation of sound in your mind from these creatures is suddenly halted by a sound of bumping, something bashing against metal. As you turn to look and see the top of the dodecahedron device, the center of the chamber, is cracked at the top, and you can see the tentacles terminating in the orb-like eyes of the beholder called Zesh are frantically attempting to push out and against the metal of the container. and I will share the map with you, just in case you don't have it already at the ready. And Kafeta, it is your turn.
Alright, Kafeta is gonna try and surround this mind flare. Is it on the floor or is it somewhere up above?
It is still levitating a bit. It's like a little bit off of the floor. It looks like it's coming to rest in front of Siraj. But it is within range if you wanted to attempt to attack it.
I'm gonna try to attack it.
Okay. Go for it. That is most definitely a hit, Kafeta. As you, for those of you who don't know what your character is, you are on the combat tracker. You can find your character there if you'd like. I can also drop your character sheet onto you, which I will do so for you, Sabrina. There you go. So after dealing 6 piercing damage, unfortunately your next two attacks are misses.
Alright, then I'll end my turn there.
Okay. Zaraj, it is your turn.
Zaraj.
The dampener is still keeping you from using your full potential in this battle. And you can feel an overwhelming sense of dread as you swing with your glaive on your first attack and miss the creature. Missing again with your second attack.
Die!
As you're on your third attack, you critically hit the creature, dealing 11 slashing damage to it. The creature is surprised and holds its arms up a bit, and almost like a feint as you slash into it, this silvery white blood splattering onto the blade of your weapon.
Can I use my bonus action to look for like a key on his body to take this necklace off of me?
That's not really a bonus action. That would be more of an investigation check.
Okay. Next turn.
Okay. On the Arcanist's turn, this time going in the correct order than what we were before. The Arcanist is looking at you, Zaraj, and it suddenly reaches out, and as it's putting its hands out in front of it, in front of your face, this wave of energy comes off of it. And I need you to make an intelligence save. This is Zaraj.
Intelligence is... Okay, I see where the save is. There we go.
Unfortunately, that is a failure. As you feel this overwhelming wave of psychic energy blast into you, and you feel as though your head is going to split apart as you are battered, taking 22 psychic damage, and you are currently stunned. And you just watch as you're standing there, just sort of slack-jawed, arms at your side, dropping your weapon to the ground. And you can see the creature's tentacles writhing, and as it says, "Very well then. I haven't feasted in a while." And Mookie, it is your turn.
Mookie is going to hold her action.
Okay. Mookie is holding her action. Ender, it is your turn. You just watched as this other half-orc took this wave of energy that blasted into him, and you just saw blood flying out of his eardrums and out of his nose, and he drops his glaive to the ground, and he's just sort of staring slack-jawed at the flayer. It was an intelligence save. Sorry, Derek.
I am going to.
Adam,
I know I survived, obviously, because I got a little bit of plot armor, but Siraj does not. Can I take my plot armor off and hand it to Siraj?
I don't quite understand what you mean, Ender. Are you
Okay.
speaking out to the heavens?
I'm going to stab you, Jerry.
You're going to stab me, the DM? Okay.
No. Just to scare you.
Go for it. That's a hit. As you slash into the creature with your sword, dealing 15 damage to it. And you watch as your purple katana is now bathed in this silvery, slick white blood.
I'm going to go for the head again, and I'm going to give myself advantage on this attack.
Okay.
That is my last use of this attack.
Okay. That is also a hit.
Does it lose concentration?
It depends on the damage. I don't think that... No, the stun effect is not a concentration check. Zaraj is just stunned for a minute.
That is the end of Ender's... Oh, before he ends his turn, I'm also going to spend my bonus action investigating how awesome Siraj is. Okay.
Yeah, it says you can repeat the saving throw at the end of your turns. So on your next turn, Zaraj, you'll be able to...
So it's not a concentration?
No, it's just an effect. Sorry, sorry, I interrupted you, Adam.
I just want Siraj to live. That's it. If I don't make it out here with my friend Siraj, I mean, the rest of you, completely expendable. However, Siraj, no. That's...
You feel kinship to this guy who's been carving into these flayer thralls. I get it. That's the end of your turn?
Yes.
Okay. Well, in that case, it is Aurie's turn. Did you want to go ahead and drop the damage onto the Europhian? You go into her heat metal, and when you grab the damage, right-click, you'll add an extra D8. Dealing 15 fire damage to the creature.
And now?
And now?
She's going to hide over here.
When that happens, there is this reverberation of a wave of energy that blasts out from the creature, and it lets go from the ceiling, falling down, bashing off of the side of the dodecahedron that is nearly split apart at the top now, falling dead. Letting go of Yaliak. Yaliak, you take 4 bludgeoning damage as you are land prone on the ground, still stunned. But you are no longer grappled and restrained. But you are stunned. You will be able to repeat your saving throw to attempt to get out of that effect on your turn.
Okay.
The rest of you wearing your collars have now been broken and begin turning to a fine purple dust that cascades. It's like a sandcastle losing its form and crumbling off of you. And you now have full access to your abilities. You feel this wave over you, this sense of what you haven't felt in quite some time since having these things attached to your necks. And Yaliak, it is your turn. Would you like to try and save out of that effect?
I definitely would.
Make an intelligence save.
Right.
You are no longer stunned. You are prone,
That
though.
was shoot.
That's okay, because I believe it's a +2. Your intelligence save is a +2, if I'm not mistaken.
The +0.
Oh, it's a +0. You still passed. Yeah, it would have been an 18.
Yalik is gonna take half her movement to stand up and catch her breath. She feels like she got hit in the solar plexus. She still has.
Looking around, you're not holding your weapon at the moment. You lost grip of it once you were grabbed and then stunned. Fell and clattered to the ground. It's a couple of feet away from where you're standing now.
Okay, I'm walk towards my dagger,
Okay.
and then I will see in.
Also, as I mentioned before, your collar has turned into purple dust. And you have full
Okay.
access to your powers.
Gotcha.
So any of your powers that do not require any sort of components, you can cast.
I was saying, can I hold my action for 2 seconds so I can actually look at my... but the thing next to me is about to go, so...
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think your action would be gone because technically you used your action to save out of that.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so you
All right.
realistically you just have your movement.
Okay, I'm gonna move back 20 feet
Okay.
and try to regain my sense of direction and such, and that'll...
We'll say that's where your dagger landed. So on your next
Yeah.
turn you'll be able to pick it up. Verkeil, looking down at you, you can hear it saying in its head, "No, no, no, no." And it's going to cast... What was that? Ryan, killing word? It's going to cast Crown of Madness on you. Make a wisdom save.
I am a wise person, maybe.
Yeah, it's a d20 plus 1. That is unfortunately not going to do it.
Wise person.
We'll get to that on your turn, Romalia. And a angry-looking metal crown appears on your head. Sharp edges digging into your skin, bit of blood trickling from your head. And you are under this creature's thrall at the moment. And on your turn, Romalia, in answer to your question, you have access to all of the abilities that you would normally have, in addition to the abilities you now have gained, which you have over the course of a very short amount of time. You're realizing the potential of these powers, and the longer that you are this thing, this new form, you will gain access to even more abilities. You realize as your mind is connected to some sort of collective, hearing the collective voices of your brethren. So in answer to your question, you do have access to your spells. Unfortunately, you cannot cast them if you do not have a component pouch or an arcane focus. So if it requires a component, you won't be able to cast it.
Okay, so I will do the Mind Blast. If that's a 60-foot cone, would that hit all
That would
the
hit.
guys up here?
That would hit everything.
Ender, Organist, Mirage, and Confetta. That's it, right? I'm not already back there.
Let's see. I'm gonna draw a cone here. Yeah, it's gonna hit everyone. If you're going straight at them from that, it would hit everyone, including Aurie.
Alright. Let's go then, I guess. How do I select multiple people again?
It's control left click. I see someone trying to move Aurie.
It's not me.
Let's look at your character. It doesn't say at the bottom. Let's look at who you've got target. Would you like me to target them for you?
Yes, please.
Okay. So what you do is you hold down control and left click, and it targets everything that you want to target. So now you may roll the intelligence save. If you double click on that, it'll roll everyone that you've target's intelligence save for them. Now you have to double click it. I can double click for you if you want.
Yeah, because that didn't seem to work.
There we go. Alright, so Ender fails. Aurie is successful.
Oh, I get a +1 on my saving throws due to my ring of protection.
Okay, so then you were successful.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so glad I remembered that.
In that case, okay, so that means that you will not take the damage. Let me untarget Ender. So, Aurie's not going to take any damage, nor will she be stunned. Zaraj will take the full damage. The Arcanist will not take any damage. Cafedo will take damage. Alright, so do you want me to roll the damage for you?
I got that part.
You got that part? Okay. Alright. 24 damage to Cafedo. And Cafedo is stunned. I believe Zaraj was already stunned and incapacitated, so I would have automatically failed that. So you're double stunned, Derek. But rather than making you roll 2 saves on your next turn, you only have to roll 1. And is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
All right. Zaraj, make an intelligence saving throw.
Do it, Zaraj.
Oh,
Well, we'll take the first one.
Unfortunately, Zaraj, you are still staring slack-jawed.
And I want to use Magical Menace. Each enemy within 30 feet. DC Wisdom saving throw. Or be frightened for 1 minute of Zaraj.
You mean dreadful aspect, you mean?
Yeah, dreadful aspect.
Let's see. Well, you're you're incapacitated, so you can't use that.
I'm not unconscious. There's a difference. It's an aura around me that they are frightened of.
Okay. So, to the enemies that you perceive within 30 feet, they will have to make a save.
Because it doesn't say it requires an action. It just says it automatically. I can turn it on.
It's an aura that recharges after a rest. You can only use it once. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm doing it now. As I have 2 freaky guys around me.
Okay.
Oh, how do I?
Do you want me to roll it for you?
Yeah, it's not letting me.
Okay. Ramalia succeeded, and Arcanus Yogir is currently frightened of you.
Get away from me!
I went ahead and dropped it on there for you.
Alright, and that'll end my turn.
And Ramalia, it is your turn.
Yay.
Now you can attempt to recharge your Mind Blast by rolling a d6.
Would that be my action, or is that just...
Nope, you just roll it. This is just something that... No, unfortunately, you don't get the Mind Blast back yet.
I will... We can't make the arrow, but I'll move up diagonal to Cafetta with the Arcanist, so I'm flanking.
Me right there? Or right there?
Right there, yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll try to grab with my
Tentacles, go for it. I believe you'll have an advantage on this. That is a hit.
And Cafetta is also grappled.
Yes, you can drag the grappled effect onto Cafetta. Cafetta is currently, your tentacles, your newfound tentacles are currently drifting over and enveloping Cafetta's head.
That's it for my turn.
Okay. Mookie, it's your turn. You lost your held action, unfortunately. This is a new round.
Yes. I'm gonna move as close to the creature as I can.
Okay.
I don't really see. I can't tell where I am on the map. And if I'm close enough, I will do 3 unarmed strikes on it.
Who are you going for? The only individuals that are within that you could attack, that you're closest to with like a melee attack, would be Ramalia or the Arcanist. The other one, Verkeil, is still floating in the air, several feet up in the air.
The Arcanist.
You go for the Arcanist? Alright.
Yes, sir.
We'll go ahead and say you moved. Oh, I guess you can't quite get over to the Arcanist to get... Actually, no. Technically, let's see. Oh, yeah, you could totally move there. Now you are going to have advantage on your attacks.
Yes.
Yes. So you're going to whack it 3 times?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Whack away.
For some reason, it says that you have disadvantage. Oh, it's because it thought you were still grappled and restrained. Let me take those off. I believe that would have hit anyway, but let me double check. Yep, that would have hit anyway. So Mookie, as you sidle up to this horrifying creature, dealing 5 bludgeoning damage with your first attack, continuing to wallop it with your fists,
Hi. What?
connecting on the first 2 attacks, but missing on your last attack.
Oh.
And that's the end of your turn?
Yes.
Okay. Verkeil, on Verkeil's turn, is going to direct Yaliak to move her full movement as fast as she possibly can.
He has to use his turn to run away.
Who? No, that's a different person, sir.
Oh, that's the other one.
There we go. Yaliak, running up behind Mookie with advantage, is going to attack with her short sword. Mookie, you suddenly sense someone behind you attempting to stab you. As you turn around and look, it's Yaliak, and Yaliak is wearing some strange metal crown, which is piercing her forehead, blood coming out of the wound and dripping into her eyes. Yaliak, you may repeat your save.
Okay, that's a intelligence.
That is a wisdom save.
Oh, wisdom. Okay. Wait, was it wisdom or intelligence last time?
It was wisdom last time.
Well, it wouldn't make a difference. Okay.
And you save out of it. You are no longer under the thrall of this creature.
Oh, I don't know how it plus 3. Oh, because of the save. Okay, got it.
Oh, you know what? I just jumped the gun on Yaliak. I'm so sorry. That should have happened later. But that's okay. We'll say that's what she would have done. That's what Verkeil will do on its turn. And you missed anyway. But we'll say you saved out of it. How about that? I jumped the gun. I apologize. It says that it happens on your turn. You do the thing that it wants to do. It has to use its whole turn to direct you like a puppet. Kaveda, it is your turn. I need you to make the intelligence save to no longer be stunned.
I'll just take that first 18.
Okay. You are no longer stunned. However, you are still grappled.
I think that's the end of my turn, right?
Yeah, that was your action.
Yep, all on my turn.
Okay. Ender, it is your turn, sir.
Well, I gotta finish this Arcanist, and it looks like I get advantage on him because he's flanked.
Correct. Mookie is flanking.
Alright. Thank you, Mookie.
I got you.
That's a hit. And with one fell swoop, Ender, you lop the head off of this creature, its tentacles writhing as its body slumps down and collapses on the floor.
I kind of softened him up for you.
I'm so sorry, Romalia, but now I'm making a movement to also flank Romalia.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get her.
You're gonna get her?
I'm gonna try.
She's gonna try. That is a hit. As you deal 15 damage to Romalia, cutting into her back. And her blood is it's a mixture between the bright red blood of a human has a bit of a grayish tinge to it. Like it's transforming into that silvery white blood of the creature that you just slain. In turn? Okay. There is a sudden, loud bashing noise as the top of the dodecahedron, boom, bursts off, exploding out like a flower blooming. And Zesh, the Broken, floats upward, regarding the chamber with its many eyes that remain.
I am Zesh.
And it will turn its attention. Let's find out what raise it will use. Whoops, that didn't work. Let's try that again. Oh yeah. Zesh is going to first use its charm ray and attempt to charm Urkiel. And Urkiel is charmed. And Zesh just says,
"Run away now, cretin."
And with its second attack, Zesh turns one of its eyes towards the wall to the south of the chamber. And this strange, quicksilver-like beam blasts out from its eye, blasting into the wall, puncturing the wall, and there is a sudden, immediate reaction of water jetting into the chamber. An enormous hole, allowing water to fill this chamber. Zesh now yelling to all of you,
"Go now while you still draw breath."
as the chamber begins to fill with water. And that is the end of Zesh's turn. Yaliak, it is your turn. You're no longer. We'll say that you've already taken your turn. You've saved out of it. Aurie's turn. What will Aurie do? She just watched this the beholder rise up from the broken dodecahedron and first cast charm on one of the flares that remains, and then turn one of its eyes and blast an enormous hole into the side of the chamber, and the chamber is now filling with water. Cold river water is now rushing into the chamber and filling it very quickly.
I think that Aurie would want to help out Kafeda.
Okay.
She wants to rescue everyone. That's what she wants. She wants everyone to be safe. So she's gonna try to find a way to attack Remalia. I don't understand her shapeshift forms, but can you just throw one on me? A good form, one that you'd think that she'd turn into.
Do you want an aquatic form, or since the room is filling with water?
Say yes.
Yes, that might work.
Okay. I'll tell you what. Beggar's choosing, out of the group of you, who would you all like Aurie to turn into?
Ooh, I like this decision.
Would you like her to turn into a giant octopus?
Give us more options.
Or a giant crocodile?
Oh, crocodile would be so cool.
Could she people with her tentacles?
And save them? I think she'd go.
Could she
octopus.
grab Ender? Yeah, do octopus for sure.
You want an octopus?
I think she would judge that as most useful. I mean, she can carry Ender in her mouth, I guess.
Yeah, or like wrap a tentacle around him and drag him out.
A tiny crab.
Alright, guys, there we go. Whoever gets the most votes.
It's like we have 1 vote for octopus, 2 votes for octopus, 1 vote for normal crab.
I can't vote. I vote for octopus.
All right.
Okay.
She
It
becomes
was by land.
an octopus.
Can I have that character sheet as well? God. You can scoot her up a little bit. It helps, yeah.
All right. You want the giant octopus? Correct.
Yes, correct.
All right. There you go.
All right.
Aurie's so badass.
So Aurie gets 52 bonus healing hit points. She is now an octopus. Whoops, I just closed it on you. I am so sorry. Let me do that again. There we go. All right.
I'm going to start with the tentacle. Tentacles is a melee hit. Creature into the darkness, the creature in its grapple.
That is a hit.
And
You deal bludgeoning damage plus the creature is grappled. So you can roll the damage as well. As this enormous tentacle wallops into Ramalia, whacking Ramalia, and then wrapping around her really fast. Is that the end of your turn?
end of turn, yes.
Okay. Mookie, it's your turn.
Mookie is going to...
There's not much around you. Mookie is noticing that this chamber is filling very fast with water.
Yeah, Mookie just kind of wants to take a deep breath and like make a run for it.
Okay. You can go towards the south wall with your full movement, if you wish.
That is what I will do.
It is technically at this point, because of how much water is already started to flood into this chamber, it would be considered double movement. So your double movement of 50 would actually be 25. So you can move 25 feet towards the opening that the beholder created. Do you want me to do that for you?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. And you watch as the Grimlocks don't know what's going on. They're splashing. The water, the ones that are closest to that side, they're underwater. Like, this chamber is filling very fast. Water is now up past your calves to all of you at this point. And on Yaliak's turn, what would you like to do, Yaliak?
Yaliak is going to take a big breath. And it's like, how tall is the water?
The hole, I would say, looks to be approximately 30 feet wide.
Okay. And it's in which direction again? North?
If you're calling the bottom of the map south, that's where the hole is. Sort of almost dead center in the south. Close to where that other Grimlock is. That other Grimlock got blasted by a jet of water, is prone in the water, just slapping its arms on the surface, trying to stay floating in this water, which is currently, the current is pushing it away.
Okay. Well, I will swim my double movement.
Which would be 30.
To go 30 feet.
Okay.
And taking as many deep breaths as I can and saying, looking over at Mookie to encourage. Actually, Is her mouth like? Is she can she still? Well, no, that'd be both her action. Dang it. Okay. Do I have a bonus action still?
I mean, you can use a bonus action, but to do what?
I think you could spend your bonus action to get one inspiration.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
Okay. Well, I would say that if you're using your movement, your full movement, that's your full movement and action. You say you're trying to hold your breath as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of requires you to be like focusing on doing that inspiration, like to belt out a song, if you will.
Okay.
So
well,
if you wanted to use your full movement to go towards it and not hold your breath yet, you can do your song to put out, you know, your inspiration.
Well, she feels like she hasn't been that useful the whole time, so she's gonna put out her inspiration. She's going to sing a story about a sea.
Okay.
And I guess inspire Mookie and herself, if that's the thing.
I think it's just Mookie who gets inspired.
Inspire Mookie.
Ah, yeah.
And what song do you sing, Sabrina?
The song about Ukata.
A song about Ukatoa?
That one, like, sailor song about Ukatoa.
Okay.
I don't know how to sing, but it does.
Do it.
Kafeda, we'll move on to Kafeda's turn. Kafeda, would you like to try to get out of being grappled?
I guess I would.
Okay.
So is that acrobatics versus strength or something like that?
Whichever one you favor. You can attempt to wiggle free using your acrobatics, which with a 25, you definitely wiggle out of the grasp of Ramalia in her flayer form. You feel like maybe teeth or something at the end of each of the tentacles scratching your head, not doing any damage to you, but it's definitely scraping and ripping out chunks of your hair. And you are suddenly aware you're free of its grasp. But this chamber is filling with icy cold river water. As you turn around and look, you see no sight of your companion. She is nowhere to be found.
My companion as in Margot or the other companion?
Margot is nowhere to be found. Looking around, you don't see her at all.
Alright, I'm going to assume that she went out the hole, and I'm going to make my way towards the hole and use my bonus action to dash there.
Okay.
So I'll move 60 feet towards the hole.
Okay. Like right there, you'd be right at the hole with your dash action.
I'll end my turn there.
Okay.
Actually, I'll go back 5 feet so everyone else can get out.
Okay. The hole is 30. The hole is 30 feet in diameter, so you guys. Are
okay.
Zaraj, you are no longer stunned.
And with the rest of his turn, he will 15 feet that way towards the hole.
It would be 30 because if you double. Oh, that's right. You use your action.
Yeah, because I used my action. So
yeah.
Yep.
So the water is very quickly filling this chamber. So it's coming up to your waist now. You can see Mookie is swimming. You see Yaliak, you see Kafeda are all converging on this 30-foot wide gap in the side of the wall.
I'm sorry, Jamie. I should have moved 30 feet instead of 60.
I was going to say,
go back there.
didn't you? Oh, that's right. You said you had a dash action, didn't you?
Yes, but I can only move 15 feet and another 15 feet, so we can make it 30.
Gotcha. Okay, so Zaraj is right on your heels. Ramalia, it's your turn. You are currently grappled, but you can try to escape. That is an escape check. Whichever one you favor, I believe, is a dexterity save. You are free. Also, roll a d6. Unfortunately, you do not regain your Mind Blast, but you have access to all of your other abilities, as you are no longer grappled.
Okay, I guess I'll move after her. I guess I'll try to get into them.
Okay. Just gonna try to get you with the tentacles. She hits you. Actually, no. It would have been 2d10.
Wrong damage, yeah.
Wrong damage, yeah. We'll take the 3 damage off. We'll give you that. We'll give you that back. I'm gonna give you back the 3 damage, Ender. So you still have 3 points back, I believe. 3. Okay. You hit him. He is stunned. Make an intelligence saving throw, Ender.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, you, unless you want to use your inspiration, you're currently stunned.
I'm not going to use my inspiration.
Okay.
Don't die.
You're grappled and stunned. The cold, clammy tentacles are now curling around your face as Romalia is attempting to position her mouth in a way above your skull. And it is your turn, Ender.
I would like to be stunned.
Would you like to save out of being stunned?
Yes.
Make another intelligence save. Would you like to use your inspiration?
No.
Okay. You are still stunned. On Zesh's turn. Let's see. Oh, those are some lovely ones. Okay. And Zesh is going to spend its turn. Actually, you know what? It turns its attention to you, Ender. And it casts, let's see, Petrification on Romalia.
Oh my gosh, I totally thought you were gonna use that on Ender for a second. It's like, wait.
Romalia, unfortunately, succeeded.
She's got some tank rolls.
But you know what? There is no rule that says I can't attack the same target twice. So it's going to cast its sleep ray on her. And she succeeds. Romalia wants that brain.
She doesn't care about plot armor.
Verkeil uses its movement to levitate itself out through the hole, following the last direction given to it by Zesh, and Verkeil is gone. And Aurie, it's Aurie's turn. What will Aurie do?
Just so stinking mad. I don't know if you guys know this, but she likes me.
That is a critical hit.
Wow.
Okay. So how do I do this? Do I go...
Roll your attack damage, and it will automatically double it. But you didn't target her first.
Sorry.
So we'll drop the damage manually onto her. And the giant octopus, which is Aurie, raises up one of its tentacles. Boom! And splatters Romalia into the cold river water, which is filling the chamber. Ramalia, unfortunately, is very dead. I'm so sorry.
Yeah!
There's your plot
Yeah.
armor. LOL.
I can't believe you were trying to take my inspiration when I knew I was gonna live. Get out of here, Jeremy.
Hey, I still have to ask you. It's what a good DM. What a good DM does. All right, Aurie. What would Aurie like to do?
Well, it's the...
Aurie has a spin.
No.
She has a swim speed of 60. She can take you with her if you're willing, as a part of her.
I am willing.
And she will wrap
I would
one
like-
of her tentacles around you, and she can take you and her 60 feet towards the hole. She's gonna take you towards your hole.
Do I get an opportunity attack as I go by? I'm just kidding.
Shut up, man. Alright, guys, Ani just got...
She just got home.
She's logging in. If I was a good boyfriend, I would have turned on her computer, but I didn't.
Can't she hear me?
She can't, no.
Okay. I can wait until she logs in for this next part.
Okay, she's logging in now.
Okay. I will release your hold on her character sheet so that she can log in. Your bodies are jettisoned from the crater that was blasted out of the side of your prison. The cool river water washing away the oppressive heat of the rejuvenation chamber. The diminished light from the night sky diffused under the surface of the river. You see a massive, elongated cylinder darkening that filtered moonlight. Several masses can just make out in the murky depths of the river. You're tumbling end over end now in its wake as the Leviathan glides away very quickly. One by one, Aurie and Ender, you lose sight of the individuals that escaped with you. After some time, you slog through the shallows of the river, heading in any direction you possibly can, surfacing and seeing the shore, just making it out with your dark vision in the distance. Insects trill and buzz as you slog through the muck, staring at one another, trying to compartmentalize and understand what you two have just gone through. As you gaze out over the water, you see a familiar sight of Ghanima's lamplights from her lanterns that hang on the outside of the catamaran's covered deck, as it is lazily drifting along in the distance. As you both begin to move away from the shore back into the shallows towards the river, you suddenly are both overcome with a wave of nausea as you lose consciousness. Time itself is a river. As you woke up the next morning, not understanding what had happened to you previously, fast forward through time and space as you're battling plant creatures alongside your companions, and now following a wild-haired, red-haired shifter woman, hefting a greatsword over her shoulder. And you are both gripped with unbearable headaches as you simultaneously recall the events the night before. The abduction, the mind flayers, the tadpoles, everything. And panic begins to set in as you both stare at each other in horror. standing aside from your companions who are converging on the outpost, wondering when you might lose yourselves to the intruding parasites that are currently eating away at your brains.
I'm going to... If you're done, sorry.
I am done.
I'm going to immediately look at Aurie and ask her, did you remember just now?
Yeah, I remember.
I'm just going
Did
to...
that actually happen?
We were not on this plane, I don't think. Some kind of, like we were in a vessel, like a living creature.
I'm going to clear, by the way, copies of your sheets, which you may now take control of, Aurie and Ender.
I would like to keep this character sheet named Jiraj is Alive.
I'm sorry, I deleted it.
Oh, God. That's not looking good. Sorry, Eric.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Ender is sad.
Aw.
The first thing Ender's gonna say when he looks at Aurie is, Suraj! No! No, I think we have those inside of us, Aurie. We're endangering our group.
What? You think they are actually still in us?
Yes, of course they are. Do you not remember? It's been not even 24 hours. I'm gonna take out my phone and Google how long it takes for a mind flayer to take over, like to grow up and be a big, strong brain.
Well, as you're pondering this, you don't need to do that because I can tell you that the captives that were on the ship before the battle, before Ramalia turned, said that they'd been on the ship for what they think was about a week.
So, it's immediately after the battle. We're following Red Sharp and Red Sharp Claw, and we're is Eli.
They're all there. In fact, your companions have, since the two of you have stopped, have moved a bit further ahead towards the outpost.
I'm gonna call for Eli.
And you all see Red, this imposing shifter woman with her weapon. You see these various buildings that have thatch roofs, and then you see another building which has a more of a solid construction, which is attached to what it looks like a boathouse, and that building is on stilts.
I'm gonna call for Eli. Eli!
Eli will stop and turn around. Yes, Ender.
I have to talk to you.
Okay.
We have to talk to you.
Did you set an appointment? I'm just kidding. You know, captain and all. And he walks up. Yes. What would you like to talk about?
Last night during our watch, we were...
Wait, I don't want to hear. I really don't want to hear.
No, it's not that. I'm curious of that too, and it's not that.
Wait, what did he
And
think?
Eli makes a circle with his hand and like the other hand with the winks at Ender.
I also, while you're doing that, I also put my finger in there.
So, look, men don't really share the details of that.
Eli, do you know
Yes.
what a player is?
Do I know what a mind flayer is, Jeremy?
Make an intelligence check.
Intelligence?
No, actually, no. Make an Arcana check.
All right.
This would be better for you.
22.
In your studies, Eli, as you've studied various subjects in regards to what lies beneath the surface of Eberron, and what is referred to as Kyber or the Underdark. You recall stories of these subterranean, somewhat amphibious creatures that live in collectives. Some are referred to as flayers. You have heard them also referred to as illithids. And you know that they are very dangerous, very secretive, and not something to be trifled with.
Ender, like Eli's eyes just widen. Those creatures are very scary. You don't want to mess with them. And that's what you.
During our watch, I'm pretty sure we were taken, and I have memories that I've just recovered that I was injected with one of those illithids.
And
specifically, Ender relates to you that something put something on his head, which he's fairly certain went into his head.
Oh, it did. I tell the DM up in the sky.
Do I know what he's talking about? What kind of thing would go in such a person's head in my studies?
Well, with your 22, you would know that illithids, or mind flayers, make more of their kind through a process called seromorphosis, which is essentially taking some sort of larval form of an illithid and putting it into an appropriate host body, and slowly over time this creature eats away at the host's brain until it completely replaces their brain.
Over the details, I'm starting to get this is my brain we're talking about.
Eli, as he continues on, they eat your brain like the light goes dark, you know.
From what I can
And
hear,
Eli kind of
not laughing right now.
And Eli Eli looks at Ender. Oh, there's no hope for you. And he kind of like takes a step forward and then stops. I'm just kidding. I have to do some research. Do I know of any ways in my studies how to get rid of such thing?
Yes, you can kill the host, crushing their heads to get access to the parasite before it infects someone else.
I'm going to pull out my short sword, my shoto, and I'm going to say, if we can't figure it out, I'm afraid we have no choice. I saw what one of them turned into. It turned on us instantly. I'm not sure if she was herself anymore.
Red, what are you doing at this time while this conversation is going on? Have you continued on towards the general store, or have you stopped because most of the group seems to be stopping?
I've stopped and I'm kind of just watching them as they talk, making sure that, they're kind of staying where they are at least and not retreating.
You get an idea in your head, a memory surfaces as they're talking about these things. And you're suddenly reminded of a possible solution for their problem. It's up to you if you wish to broach the subject with them.
I'll go over there.
Okay. The imposing...
I want to do it a creepy way, though, like I just pop up.
Okay. I'll tell you what, make a stealth check.
This isn't a stealth check, this is a creep check. Just how creepy.
Make a creepy... make a performance/stealth check. Let's see. Make a stealth check first, and then a
I
performance
didn't
check.
mean to do advantage. Sorry.
Oh, you super creepy.
For some reason, it says you have disadvantage.
I dropped the 19, I guess.
Is it because you're wearing armor, or why does it say you have disadvantage?
That's Ramalia level of creepy.
I don't know, 'cause I've got the mithril plate.
Yeah, you got disadvantage on stealth because you're mithril plate.
I thought that removes that.
Let's take a look. Mithril plate.
If your armor normally imposes disadvantage checks, the mithril version of the armor does not.
So in that case, let's go ahead into your character and take disadvantage off. Boom, you're no longer at disadvantage.
Okay.
That means that was a 19 creep check.
1921.
21.
A 21. You very stealthily creep up behind them. I don't think that they notice you. Let's see.
I'm just getting kind of...
Yeah, none of them notice. I don't think. Let me double check. Let's see. What's the passive? Actually, no. Aurie would notice. Aurie, you see this strange, furry red woman, fiery red hair, very softly walking up behind Ender and Eli as they're conversating.
I'm just gonna kind of like point at her and like go to open my mouth but not know what to say because it's just so strange. I'm just like, okay.
I'm just gonna kind of like go over Eli's shoulder, like next to his ear. This one knows how to solve your problem. Maybe.
Ah!
You each receive 1,817 experience points for the...
Pay him up, DM. Yeah.
I did say it was going to be a good bonus, didn't I?
Am I level 10?
You are not.
Back to the rejuvenation chamber. Who's with me?
Eli jumps a little bit as she creeps up on him. Ah!
I'm just kind of like staring at you, not blinking, waiting for you to like respond.
And what kind of solution you have for this problem?
That's a good question, DM. What kind of solution do I have for this problem?
You should have filled her in, DM.
Red, you get a sudden inspiration of the thought of an individual that the group could potentially seek out who lives in the crawling swamp. A torn druid. You don't know the druid's name. You just know that your people, the shifters that live near the crawling swamp, have sought this druid's wisdom in the past. And one of the last torn druids that you're aware of in this region. And the torn druids, Red would know, have a deep connection to the Shadow Marches. They were the ones that raised up the Merc Oaks that helped keep the city of Zarashak stable so that they could construct the city on the river.
A druid, you say? And where is he? Or she located?
Red would... It would be almost the same path to the crawling swamp. However, instead of traveling more northeastern, it would be more of a northwestern path. It would be a little bit out of the way from the direction that you were all planning to go on Ghana's catamaran. However, considering the current issue at hand, it's up to you as a group which one takes precedent.
Northwest in the swamps. This one could maybe show you.
Eli looks at Ender. Do you have a 50 gold piece gem?
No. No, I don't.
Aurie, do you have a 50 gold piece gem?
I don't tend to carry that kind of thing around, no.
Well, looks like the druid it is. Too bad. I was about to teleport you to a hospital.
No 50 gold piece gem on my end.
Unfortunately, we have one option now.
Well, you
Eli.
you have the option of crushing their heads.
True. We do have that option.
But I don't think Aurie and Ender would like that option, though.
I would sooner kill myself before I let some punk squash my head.
No 50 gold piece gems around? Okay, well.
Gunny had 50 gold piece gems.
Yeah. That man, he probably could have helped you too. And Eli kind of thinks for a moment, looks at himself, pulls out a book, shuffles through the pages. No. Shuffles it more. Yeah, death is your only option other than this druid. What would you like?
I think we should go see the druid.
Okay, sounds great. Eli turns a red and goes, well, we're ready to follow you.
I kind of just like cock my head. This one does not think it is wise to go so soon. We just fought quite the battle. This one thinks that we should get supplies and rest. Come. And I just keep walking towards the village, or outpost.
And she's gesturing towards the main, the largest building within this outpost, which is this a long building that's set up on stilts, and it's a bit of a mounded area where it's sitting, so that part of it dips down, the part that's connected to the boathouse, which is right on the water for this little bayou that comes off of the river. And you can all hear the sounds of individuals conversating, and a little bit of music coming from within this general store, which appears to also be potentially a tavern. And you can see there's an individual leaning on a railing on the side of the stilted building, who is a bit furry and a little dirty and wearing overalls. And he calls out to you, "Howdy! Any friend of Red's is a friend of mine. Come on in."
Well, looks like we're... Come on, Ender, let's go.
Thanks, Dad, and I reach down and I hold his hand. Not really.
So are you all heading towards the general store, or just a few of you?
Lethana walks in as well. She will go up to Aurie and say, "Hey, don't worry, we will figure it."
But what if it moves faster on me because I'm smaller? Or what if... How do we know?
Well, I hate to say this, but don't worry, I will shoot you before you hurt any of our friends. But I will do everything we can to make you feel better. Yeah, and Lethana still has the blonde wig on with the braids that looks very close to.
You look like
Thanks,
sisters.
Lisanna. Will you take care of Sporlin if something, were to happen to me?
Lethana looks over at Sporlin and she kind of grimaces a little. And then she says, if that is your final wish, I will do. Yes.
Oh, at least make sure he gets somewhere safe.
Will.
Red will walk up to Aurie and kind of like peep at her ear and like kind of hold up like a clawed finger. This one maybe could get it out with my claw and like stick it towards her ear.
Whoa,
really
whoa, whoa,
think
whoa, whoa, whoa.
I'm digging
And the-
Auri's new picture, by the way.
Thanks. I lost my other one.
Oh,
Find
no.
one real fast. Yeah, I updated to Windows 10, so all the pictures are on the external drive somewhere.
Lithana pulls her arrow out and aims it towards Red. Do not lay a claw.
And Red will just kind of narrow her eyes. This one is only trying to help. Ugh. And stalk away.
So do you all climb the ladder to get up to the general store / tavern?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
One by one, you pass into the building. Building's a bit ramshackle, but as you enter, the floor looks like it's been cleaned. There are various individuals who are sitting at tables, and there's a little bit of music playing as the sounds of the swamp outside and the open air. Several of the windows are open, so you can still kind of hear the faint sounds of the swamp around you. But you can now hear the sounds of the rowdy individuals as they're all sitting with their drinks, laughing and just carrying on. And you can see a gentleman who is standing behind a bar, and he's currently wiping down the bar. And he has this big, bushy black mustache. And he looks at all of you and says, "Oh, newcomers, come right in. Have a seat. My name is Black."
Is everyone here named after color?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Everyone here named after color?
No, he said his name was Bleck. Bleck.
I thought you said black.
I
No
thought you said black too.
No worries. No worries. That is kind of funny, though. Now that I think about that, that wasn't intentional. And he himself, he has some huge sideburns that radiate out the same black matted fur. And he has feline features to him. And he just sort of winks at Red as Red walks into the door. "I say you found some strangers, Red. Good on you. What can I do for you folk?"
Well, we need to resupply before we head out.
"Oh, I'm sure we could figure something out for you. Now keep in mind we haven't had any folk coming from the mainland, from Zarashak, in a while, so our supplies are a little bit limited, but I can probably settle up for your basic materials that you might need as you go out into the swamp proper. I take it it wasn't y'all's intention to visit us, was it?"
And now we were just passing by and we heard some cries of battle and we came to help.
"Oh yes, those blights. Oh, well, you helped out Red?"
Yes, we did help out Red.
"Well, golly gee, that's wonderful. I'll tell you what, y'all don't have to pay a dime for helping us out. You can take whatever you need to resupply yourselves. And if there's anything else that I can try to help you with, I will try. Again, my name is Bleck. Bleck. Like the color, but with an E instead of an A."
Black, not necessary. I appreciate the sentiment. And I put up my hand.
And he looks at your hand for a moment, kind of tilts his head. And for like a second and a half, he just looks at you and looks at your hand and looks back up. And then he very heartily extends his hand out and grabs your hand and shakes it. Half-orc.
I smile a bit.
And he pulls his hand back and he just sort of rubs his face. And he continues to rub it for a little while. I haven't seen a half-orc in a while.
We have coin and we can pay with coin. No need to give us your merchandise. I'm sure you could use the business.
Well, I mean...
I look back at Eli, making sure he's on the same page as us.
Replacing folk is, I would say a bit higher than replacing stock, if you will. So I certainly appreciate the sentiment, but I must insist that you accept my hospitality.
How about we agree on a good discount?
Discount? Well, perhaps there's something that we can come to an agreement. Instead, maybe there's something that you could do for us in addition to what you've already done for us today.
What would that be?
Well, Red could probably fill you in better, because Red is, of course, our sole protector at the moment of this outpost. But, you see, as I'm sure you observed, we have had a problem with critters from the swamp attacking the outpost. Now, ordinarily we would seek out the aid of the Shogun, but you must understand, most folk that come up this river, they avoid our outpost unless they have business or unless they live out here. They don't really do dealings with us, and Red has been a bit busy having to fend off these creatures by herself the last few days. So, if there's a possibility, you all could help us with the source of these malcontents. Would that be agreeable?
Well, if we have
I
the
look back at
time,
the party.
I don't mind getting some target practice in, but I think we're on a time crunch.
Oh, I understand. Y'all are busy folk. I can tell just by your outfits and your demeanor. Clearly, you're on a mission. For a poor little outpost like us, I'm sure we must seem like simple folk to y'all. And again, we have Red, and Red has her usefulness, but I would very much appreciate it, and the other folk around, they would appreciate it as well if you could help us out.
Maybe we can look into it. Do you know which way these plant folk are coming from?
Somewhere to the northeast. It's kind of hard, really, to pinpoint where exactly. But they've been coming from that direction now for quite some time. You see, they have some sort of a source, an intelligence, if you will, that seems to be driving them coming this direction. We've been dealing with them now for weeks, heck, almost a month now. Red, I'm sure, is exhausted. And he just sort of winks at Red, gives her a little side eye and winks at her.
This one does not get tired, Black.
Oh, I know. You is mighty, you is powerful. So what do y'all say?
Well, maybe you can tell us something more about the regions. What was that terrorist group called? Ender? Something with what was it called?
Oh crap, I don't remember. But
that would be the group that is referred to as Zaduk's Bane, or the ZB for short.
Bane, I answer.
Yes, the Zadruk's Bane. Are they in that area as well? Or maybe you can give us a pointer on where they might be and maybe we can help? What do you think, Eloy?
Explain to them what ZB could. I say, this group could just be any kind of rebel group, some kind of organized military, perhaps, out here.
Black, you're asking him now.
Yeah. I just explained to him what ZB could be.
Black just sort of looks at you, and he's wiping with a cloth. He's wiping the counter, and you can see he's continuing to wipe for a little while, and he all of a sudden he just starts going,
He hummed.
Can Lithana get a read on him?
He continues to do that for a moment. ZB, you said? Zaduk's Bane? And sorry, what did you say, Sabrina?
Can Lithana get a read on him? Does he seem like he's heard of it? He's trying to hide something or something?
Well, you can certainly make a check for that if you like.
Alright.
To sense on him, an insight. 22. You've been observing Bleck for a while now. He's been wiping the same exact spot over and over and over again. And when he was humming, you noticed that he was staring off into space, and his pupils are 100% dilated. And when he hummed, it sounded strange to you. With a 22, it sounds almost like he was caught on that tone. You're not exactly sure why he would be caught on that tone, but he seems like he's having a hard time understanding what you've just told him. And again, he's not moving from the spot that he's standing at. He hasn't gone to help anyone. No one in the tavern has really asked him for anything, but he's not moving from that spot that he's standing on. He has his full attention on you, on all of you, and specifically to those of you that are talking to him. And the only time that his attention has drifted is when he has looked over to Red.
Eli would like to look up from his book and look at the man and cast Dispel Magic.
Okay. You're casting Dispel Magic on him?
Yes.
Interesting.
And what?
When you
What
cast
is it?
Dispel Magic on something, does it know that you casted it on it?
Now, let's see if it notices you casting. Are you doing that? Are you just doing it, or are you trying to use sleight of hand to do that? Because I would say that that's something you would have to do a sleight of hand check in order to do without him noticing.
Okay. 21.
That's not a sleight of hand check, sir. That's a stealth check.
Oh, I don't have sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, 21.
It's the same. Hey, he rolled a 21. He did not notice. So you cast Dispel Magic on him?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see.
As Lafana gets the look that she had, a strange look that Eli recognizes something isn't right. Like the scene in the bar, that he should have cast Dispel Magic on that man.
He looks at you. He looks around as he just sort of goes. He brings in a nostril full of air, and as he does that, a few of the people in the tavern sniff as well. Just a couple. And Red, you notice that they're being very rude to Black. These people are just, they're not really, like, they're kind of waffling and they're being very rude.
I'm gonna get right up in their face, like step in front of Black, like blocking him.
Black is behind the counter, so they would all be behind the counter, essentially.
Double blocking them.
Double blocking him. Black...
This one is not like how you're treating my friends. This one regrets helping you.
Lithana will do her best to be charmed. And she will say, Dear Red, we did not mean to be intrusive. I just simply asked a question. And we are looking for information. That is why we are here. That's it. And we would love to patron the shops here. We mean no harm.
What are the rest of you doing? As Sabrina is conversating with, as Lithana is conversating with Red.
Eli is seeing if anything happened when he cast his spell.
Oh, you're focusing purely on Black?
Yes, I am.
Okay. What about the rest of you? What are you doing, Ender?
I'm going to be as aware of my environment as I always am. I'm always cautious and looking for threats all around me.
Okay. Well, would you like to make a perception check?
Sure would. I'm glad you asked me that, partner.
While you're doing that, Aurie, what are you doing?
I'm kind of like scratching my head and like trying to like feel around my head and see if anything feels weird and out of place. I'm just really freaked out that there's something inside my head right now. I'm not really paying attention to them in their conversation so much.
What about you, Zito?
Zito is not that confident to going around by himself in a place full of shifters that call him delicious, so he's gonna stick by Aurie and Ender's side.
Okay. Eli.
Yes.
I would like you to make a wisdom save.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'll use inspiration. Or no, I might as well use inspiration.
Go for it.
17.
Okay. Eli. I will whisper something to you.
There are lots of secrets. I don't like being outside of secrets. I like having secrets, but I don't like being on the outside. I demand everyone stop whispering at once, except for me.
I have advantage if it's that what you dropped on me. I am a half-elf.
Then you can roll again.
Alright.
But I will only accept one roll since you used your inspiration.
Okay.
Okay.
Natural 20.
In that case, so as you're looking into the eyes of this individual, you started to feel a little strange tickling sensation in your head as he's looking back at you with a smile. And I will whisper to you what you see. That's what you see. And the moment that that happens, you all are suddenly aware that it is uncomfortably quiet in here. As the sounds of the tavern begin to drift away, the sounds of the individuals that are within this place, the songs ceases, the bead glasses stop clanking, the individuals stop laughing. It is dead silent in here. You can hear the sounds of the swamp outside through the open air windows. And Bleck says to you all, "Now, let's not be rude. You can either help us, or we will help ourselves to you." And as you begin, there's this weird sound, this almost sucking noise. As you all begin to look around, the various individuals that are seated at the tables, their bodies start to become somewhat transparent. You can see the bones floating within their bodies. The clothing that they were wearing is now starting to slough off of their body, and now it's just a handful of individuals that seem to be made out of a gelatinous material, and they sort of undulate. And Bleck looks to you, Red, and says, "You know what to do."
I'm imagining right now everything's silent, and that samurai water thing is like.
Red.
What is the name?
Teach them a lesson.
I pull out my long sword off, or my
I believe you have your great sword.
Off my back.
Okay.
This one will, and I'll swing right at Lithana since she was in front of me.
Okay, well, let's give you guys a map then.
Did he cast a spell at her?
He did not.
Oh, okay.
And you wouldn't know if he did or not.
Okay, even though I'm watching him like a hawk.
So first off, let me put you guys on the map. Let me share the map with you, and you can position yourselves where you would be within this tavern. Yeah, all you saw is he looked at Red.
Do I get a chance to use a reaction to counter it? Because he tried to do the same thing to me as he looked at me.
You can counter, but you're not sure what he's doing.
Dang, I almost want to try. I just want, but true. I don't want to use a spell slot. Not yet. Not yet.
All right, and if you guys haven't already done so, you may roll initiative. And have you all positioned yourselves where you would like to be?
Yes.
Okay, I'll lock your tokens and reveal to you on the map what you all see suddenly forming around you all. And just for ha-has, I'll put a guy, so that you can see, you know, who's in front of you. There you go.
Where's the Ender?
He's right there.
There he is.
The guy from the yawning portal's everywhere.
So there is this sound as this creature comes through the open window and begins rushing towards you all. And the creature itself looks like this. Now that it has lost its form, it resembles this.
Oh gosh.
Hey, that skull looks familiar. That's not what is in me, right?
That is
Is
not
that
what's
a
in
thing
you. It is not what's in you.
What's with all these alien creatures all of a sudden, Jeremy? You can't throw two different species at us at once.
Well, it wasn't at once. So, Aurie, this creature comes up behind you and it tries to whap you with its pseudopod, but it misses you. And from the side of you, this other creature comes slurping across the ground and attempts to whap you with its pseudopod, Lithana. But it also misses you. These things, whatever they may be, they seem like they're not really put together too well. Another one is now moving across the floor, the lacquered wood floor of this place, and is going straight towards Zito. Aurie, it is your turn.
Okay. I am going to try and turn into a giant scorpion. I don't see it in the NPC thing there.
Okay. I will give you the stats for that. As Aurie suddenly turns into a giant scorpion, I will push as you become a much bigger creature. Let's just push you there. Push you there.
I will ride the giant scorpion.
As Aurie suddenly becomes a giant scorpion.
Nice.
And here are the stats for your giant scorpion, Aurie. And you gained 52. There you go. Bonus hit points. Is that the end of your turn?
Cool. No, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to attack now.
Go for it. That is unfortunately a miss.
Well, darn.
I believe you have 3 attacks.
3?
Yes. Your form has 3 attacks, 2 with your claws and 1 with your stinger.
Okay.
That's a hit. And you deal 9 bludgeoning damage as you snap forth this loud clacking noise as you snap into the creature, tearing a piece of its gelatinous form off as it flies off of its body. It's trying to reform itself. Some of the bones are sticking out from the negative space that you've created.
And that target is grapple.
All right, you can drop the grapple effect onto it.
It's again, right?
Or I can if you like. Let me do that for you.
It doesn't have to drag it from this. Oh, maybe it does. Does it?
There you go.
Did that work?
You did it.
Cool.
Hooray! And you also have your sting.
Yep. I'm going to, and I'm going to sting him. Just go all out at this boy.
Unfortunately, that's a miss. As this thing is, as you grab it, it's amorphous. And it just sort of starts to slip out of your claw. And as you try to stab it, you nearly hit your own claw and stab yourself.
Fine. Alright, that's my turn.
Okay. The other spawns now are slurping across the ground, converging on you, Aurie, in your scorpion form. And let's see.
Eli, make a wisdom save.
Actually, no. I take that back.
Okay.
Yeah, make a wisdom save, sir.
I'll counter it.
Sorry. You know what? I keep looking at it. I'm like, do I want to use that? No, I won't use that.
You sure?
I'm just looking at a lot of things here, and I'm like, oh, this is concentration. This is concentration. Do I want to use? Do I want to use that?
Right?
There's so many things that are concentration.
Eli's sitting right here.
Yeah. Make a wisdom save, sir.
I'll counter it. Level 3.
You can't counter it.
Is it a spell?
It is not.
It is not a spell.
No.
Okay. Wisdom save? I'll use luck.
You'll use luck? Go for it.
Yeah. Oh!
That's burn through that
man,
luck,
I'm
sir.
just immune. I'm just
Amazing.
immune to this guy, man.
Amazing.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. I have one luck left, by the way.
Dern looks at this. Dern, the picture that you see, just kind of looks at you and smirks, and he says, "You'll run out of luck eventually, sir." And as he says that, from underneath the bar, the planks, something comes up out of a gap in the planks and tries to slap you. It's a long, somewhat almost like a ribbon-thin gelatinous pseudopod.
Wiener? Is that what you're saying?
No, pseudopod, not wiener. And it whacks into you, missing you, and then tries to hit you again. Would you like to use your reaction if you haven't already done so?
Yes, I'd like to cast shield.
Okay, I assume that will not 18 will not hit you with your shield, if I'm not mistaken. Don't forget to drop that on yourself.
Oh yeah, sorry. I have a 14 normally, so plus 5, so 19.
So 19. Yep, he doesn't hit you. So
All
you
right.
just watch as this ribbon-thin, pinkish red pseudopod comes up straight out from underneath you and tries to punch you in the balls. You
Man,
just feel it. You just feel it whapping between your legs, nearly striking you in the testicles.
And finally, the time I can actually counter something. It's freaking not spells.
All right. This one is going to slurp across the ground, getting as far as it can possibly go. And then Red, it is your turn. These people are being extremely rude to Black.
Red is going to shift, so
Okay.
like her fangs kind of elongate. She gets a little bit hairier, looks a little bit more feral.
Looks
than
like
usual.
your picture.
Yeah. So she'll get some temp hit points and her extra attack. So she's going to swing at Lithana.
Okay.
With her greatsword.
All right. That unfortunately is a miss. That is a hit though. Lithana, suddenly this person who was helping you and you were helping her is suddenly attacking you all. Trying to drive this greatsword into you, slashing into your chest with her greatsword.
And she's also going to go in with her fangs toward Lithana's.
Okay. And that is also a hit. As this after following through with the hit with the greatsword, leans forth and latches onto your neck, nearly ripping your jugular from your neck.
And that's it.
Okay. Lithana, it is your turn. Oh, did you also want to rage, Red? Or did you already use your bonus action?
Shifting's my bonus action.
Ah, gotcha. Lithana, this newfound ally seems to be trying to kill you.
Lithana will take a moment, close her eyes, and then focus. Open her eyes and pull out her double-bladed scimitar.
Okay.
Why do I have 39 wounded?
Because you didn't heal. You didn't heal before this that last encounter.
Oh gosh, cool.
None of you healed before this encounter.
Well, we're dumb. Okay. So Lithana will look over at Red, and she will concentrate and put her hunter's mark.
Okay.
And then she will pull out her scimitar and lash out with 3 attacks in a row.
Okay. Now, as you do each attack, wait for me to give you a cue before you do your next one. If you hit. You didn't target her. Would an 18 hit you, Red?
Yes.
Okay, so you can roll your damage. And now, Red, you still didn't target her, Sabrina.
It says I'm target.
No, it says that you're not targeting her. Okay, so the damage is absorbed as you slash into her. You're not sure if you're cutting into her fur or into her flesh. Red, make a wisdom save. Thank you. Plutonium, you may continue your attacks.
Alright, she goes in for another one. Attempting to hit her right with her shoulder blade.
Okay. That is a hit. That 22 hits as you cross forward with your double-bladed scimitar, slashing into Red. Red, you take 10 damage as 2 of it is absorbed by your shifter ability. Make another wisdom save. Okay. You may continue with your attacks, Lithana.
And for her last attack, she will focus on accuracy, and she will also use her Dread Ambusher ability
Okay.
to get her. Let's see how the Dread Ambusher is like an automatic with first round.
How does Dread Ambush work?
On the first attacks, you can add a +8 if you hit. No, plus D8.
Okay. A D8 if you hit.
Technically, it should have been on the first one, but
That's okay.
what is it? And then for, I think I had to take like a -5, and then I can get a +10 too. So, like, okay, she tries to go for the clavicle again.
Okay. Well, you didn't roll an attack. You rolled damage.
Oh, sorry.
So let's take that damage off of her. But that hit. We'll keep the damage. So you did hit. Red, make another wisdom save.
We'll just do a D.
Okay. So
Get
I'll
the other
add.
one. So plus
So I'll add one more hit point of damage on her. Is that the end of your turn?
That's it. Lithana will just look at Red and be like, "Hey, you're the one who wanted to mess with her."
Zito, it is your turn. You're watching as these strange people have suddenly morphed into weird gelatinous masses, and they're coming at you. And also that giant red woman who joked about saying you were tasty or smell good is now attacking Lithana.
Zito is going to cast Shocking Grasp on this ooze-like creature.
Go for it. That's a hit. As you deal 11 lightning damage to the creature, it cannot take a reaction, and you just see as the lightning blasts through it, creating holes that are slowly being filled back in by its gelatinous form.
And Zito's gonna climb up onto the counter and end his turn there.
Okay. So you're gonna get on top of the counter right there?
On top of the counter.
Alright, you are on top of the counter now. Ender, it's your turn. You see this guy with a smart-ass smirk on his face staring directly at Eli. You see Red is going after Lithana. Aurie has turned into a giant scorpion, and weird jello people are attacking you all.
I'm going to whisper to Eli as I pass. And I'm going to go behind him and start messing up Oblex number 8.
Okay, go for it. That is definitely a hit as you slash into it with your purple Biesh sword, splitting it down the middle, carving into the bones that are suspended within its gelatinous form as it falls apart, scattering on the ground.
And then for my second attack, I'm... No.
That is also a hit. As you deal 14 slashing damage, carving into the creature, nearly cutting it in half, but you can see now as it plops onto the ground, some of it sliding off of your sword as it's trying to reform itself, but it's nearly falling apart.
Alright, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Eli, it is your turn, sir. Durin is this strange individual with mutton chops and furry faces smirking at you. You have been attacked by something that you can't quite see. He didn't really move or make a motion at you really, except to look at you. And his eyes changed a little funny color before this all went down, before this all happened. You've tried different things on him, thinking that you can affect him in some way, and whatever you're doing doesn't seem to really be working.
I'm going to look at him in the eye and say, I think you'd look better as a turtle.
You think he'd look better as a turtle?
Yeah. Save. Oh.
Actually, remember we had a conversation about this, Eli. You can't choose turtle anymore.
Well, we'll just reskin a frog. How about that? If there's something tiny, we'll pick something tiny in the. Let's see. I gotta find something small. It doesn't really give me size in here, so we'll choose a CR. How about that? We'll go with a CR 0.
Well, he needs to make a wisdom save. It's not saving.
Oh, it has to make a save?
Yeah, wisdom save DC 16.
Gotcha. All right.
Let's see, a cat, a bat, a badger, a crab.
Frog.
Those are all the ones I just read are CR 0 tiny beasts. Same with premium rat, crawling claw.
It saves. It rolled a 16.
I'm gonna use my last luck of the day and make him reroll that.
Oh, is that how luck works? I thought luck was only your rolls, sir.
I can make it's an attack roll that they do or a save. Let me look. Let me look and make sure it's a.
Your save or the creature's save?
That's what I was looking at, but I know I can affect their attacks too.
Yeah. Let's take a look at Lucky. It says whenever you make an attack roll, ability check or saving throw, you can spend 1 luck point. You can choose to spend 1 of your luck points after you roll the die, but the outcome is determined. You can also spend 1 luck point when an attack roll is made against you.
Okay, so it's not a save. Never mind.
Yeah.
I can't do it unsaved. All right, he saves
Yeah, it's
it.
it's only if it tries to attack you.
All right, and I'll end my turn.
When that happens, the smile turns to a frown. And he goes, "Oh, you fucked up." And he whistles. And this other Obelix now is just sort of over through the counter, continues to schlorp, coming towards you, towards straight across. Looks like it's gonna come straight at you. Its next turn, Eli. And Lithana, it is your turn again.
Okay, Lithana will concentrate again and cast Zephyr Strike. She is able to move away without taking opportunity attacks.
Okay.
Let's see. Other things. She's going to move. She also gets an extra 30 feet of movement.
Okay. So you can move 65 feet, correct?
Yeah, she's going to go into this corner over here.
Okay.
Her repeating
As
long.
part of your action, you can stow your weapon if you're getting ready to use your bow, if that's your plan.
Yes, she will put her scimitar back in its sheath.
Okay. Is that your full action?
She can. Oh wait, she can move 65. Wait, let me see. No, she will then pull out her bow and take a shot at.
Don't know if you can actually stow a weapon, pull another one, and fire it in the same turn.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
She can drop one, but
Yeah,
probably
you
she
could.
can still pull out.
So you can drop your weapon and then pull out a weapon and fire it, I believe.
Okay. She would drop her in like halfway across the room and
Okay.
then pull up. And then take her 2 shots.
Okay. Unfortunately, that is a natural 1 as you attempt to fire at Red. Red just takes the end of her greatsword and bats the arrow out of the way and snarls.
Snarl for us, Ashley.
Alright.
Rar.
I'm not very intimidated.
I
That's-
1 second, I'm ready.
That shifter is sassy.
Okay. I will then use Super Strike to give myself extra accuracy and damage, so I get advantage and +8 if it hits. Oh, sorry.
Okay. That's a hit. That's 23 piercing damage as the arrow plunges into your chest. You're not feeling too good, Red. Go ahead and make another wisdom save. Red. You have been prisoner in your own mind for a while now. You have slowly watched as these acidic creatures have consumed your brethren until you were all that was left to be their sole protector, having your mind warped and twisted over and over again over an indeterminate amount of time. You are free from this creature's grasp. Oblique spawn number 1 is going to attempt to whack you, Ender. It slaps you, but it misses. It rolls a natural 1. Tries to slap you.
Try.
Instead of slapping you, it sort of like awkwardly like touches your hand and like pets your hand.
I stopped combat. Me and Old Black Spawn 1. I think he needs a friend right now, and I hold onto his hand and I pull him into the corner and we talk. We sit down and we talk about how his day.
Eli, it is your turn.
Eli looks at him again. Smiles. Says, "You should have listened the first time. Save.
Save on what?
Wisdom save 16.
Okay.
Cast at level 5, but does that make a difference?
Yeah, it doesn't really affect the save, I don't think. So
No, it
that's it.
doesn't. I
That's
looked.
Another wisdom save, you said?
Yep.
He rolls a 20. And he just sort of leans in closer to you and says, "I will enjoy ingesting your essence. Perhaps I will bring you back as a turtle." And Red, it is your turn. It has been so long since you have had control of yourself. You've just been this puppet for these things. And you've got arrows sticking out of your chest from this wide-eyed woman across the room in the corner who's pointing her bow at you.
How many? How many arrows?
A lot. That was what, like at least 4 arrows that you got stuck in you?
That's fine. Well, 1 miss.
What would you like to do, Red?
Red is just going to like rip the arrows out and like let out this blood curdling like screech and rage.
Alright, I turned your rage on for you.
And she will
Leap over the counter. Kill that man. That's hurting our precious Eli.
Can I attack that guy, or is he just kind of messing around?
You would know. I will whisper to you. What? And you can choose to share this if you would. Or how about this? If what I whisper to you, you have your full ability to respond. You can share this information openly as part of your free action, yelling it to them. Essentially, what I was going to whisper to you is that that's not him. It's underneath the floor.
Okay. And I'll look towards Eli. It is a distraction. It's under the store. And I'm gonna jump over to Oblex number 7 and try to hit him.
Okay, you want me to move you right next to him like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to attack reckless. Oh, I forgot to turn. Oh well, that's fine. Ahead of you.
Okay. Yep, that definitely hits. As you slash heavy damage into the creature, cutting it with your great sword, its body responding to the impact of your edged weapon.
And then I'll go in with my.
Wow, you actually missed! I am so shocked.
Well, I'm gonna attack recklessly, so I'll get advantage.
Okay.
But I keep forgetting to turn it on. There we go. Alright, so he's dead, and then I'll turn over to the number 5 for my second great sword attack.
Okay.
Hold on, let me turn
You can close the distance if you like to get to him.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. That's also a hit.
That was good damage. Nice. And that's it for my turn.
Okay, Zito, it is your turn. You see this amorphous blob coming towards him. You see this man standing behind the counter. You just heard the red woman who was attacking Lathana now has turned her attention and is cutting into the spawn and has yelled out that the true threat is below the floor.
I'm going to cast Shatter on the floor where the man is right now, where Bleck is.
Ooh.
Go for it. As you cast Shatter, I think that the floor just automatically fails, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Let me double check. I know it takes damage.
Okay. Let me take a look at something real quick. So, as the floor begins to cave in the spot where you hit, this man suddenly pops like a balloon. And where his right foot was, you see the end of a pinkish red amorphous ribbon-thin pseudopod, which begins to pull back through the hole. The spell probably, does it give you like an area of damage, or does it just say that it damages something?
It's a 10-foot radius sphere.
A 10-foot radius sphere? Okay. So you are now seeing something that looks like this. And I will share an image with you.
Oh, sorry. It looks like you're in it as well.
Oh. Cute.
Oh, so Eli, you are hit with 12 thunder damage as Zito's spell reverberates, bashing the floor open as this sudden red blob is now rising up from underneath the floor. These various...
Would the blob be in their range as well?
It was in... The shatter essentially popped. It destroyed that creature. It severed that pseudopod. So it hasn't pulled itself up out yet, but you can see it just below the surface. It was far enough away that it didn't take any damage from that attack.
I'm going to turn there.
Okay. The other Oblex are now converging on Ender. This one, not nearly as kind as the other one that just patted Ender on the hand, but it also misses. This one now is... up onto the table, and now is going to try to whack you, Eli. And it hits you. A 20 hits, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. It slaps you across the face. Doesn't say anything. It just, the pseudopod rises up and it smacks you across the face like you're being slapped by someone that you just offended. And the Oblex now Elder Oblex begins to rise up from the floor to its huge form. And you can just see this rippling effect of faces now emerging, calling out wailful looks, no noise, as it tries to whap you with its pseudopod. Trying to hit you first, and then trying to hit Zito.
What did he roll? Because I don't know what. It didn't take the shield effect off. Only lasts one round.
Well, it
the
was.
Shield effect should be gone.
Oh, well then that would have hit you, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Unless you're doing shield again.
I'll cast shield. But I just want to be fair. But I realized, how do you take that off? It stays on too long.
How long does it last? Just a round?
One round. Yeah, just a round.
I think it's supposed to start until your next turn. You still had that
Yeah.
plus 5 bonus is what it says on the.
Yeah, I
sheet.
think it's until your next
Oh.
turn. So we'll say that you'll say that you're saved from that. I do need.
Oh,
you to,
okay.
I do need you to make a wisdom save though.
Who, me or Eli?
Eli. It's got a hard on for Eli. And this will be the last round of combat, guys. We're 2 minutes past, and I know some of you can't stay much longer.
He has advantage.
Okay.
If it's charmed.
Roll again. Okay.
20.
Yeah. Actually,
Eli.
no, that wasn't a save. No, you wouldn't have had advantage. That's a hit.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's a hit.
Yeah. So do you want to?
Okay.
Do you have any other ability that can save you?
No. I was if it was charmed, sleep, or
No.
yeah, elves have advantage. All right, so
You take 54 psychic damage as you are blasted away from the counter and fall unconscious.
Holy crap!
As it does something called eat memories to you.
Y'all, kill the wizard. ASAP.
And you all hear this weird burbling chuckling that seems to echo throughout this whole chamber. And all the other amorphous blobs seem to be like mimicking that sound now. As the other pseudopod from spawn number 5 critically hits you, Red. As you take 16 bludgeoning and psychic damage. Reduced down to 10. And Aurie, it is your turn again. You just heard the sound of a body thumping to the ground in this place. And this horrible, echoing, cackling noise.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, I'm gonna attack this guy here first, I guess.
Okay.
On with my right claw.
I think you still have one of those guys grappled.
I thought I did too, right? Okay.
Yeah, so
I
you have two. Number 2 is grappled, so you can only attack with one claw, but if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I was hoping. I wanted to have them both grappled, so that's
Yeah.
perfect.
Well, that's a hit.
Then that guy's gonna be grappled too, but I should probably good damage, huh?
Yep. So you do 7 bludgeoning damage as you're crushing into its gelatinous form.
Cool. I'm gonna keep those 2 grappled, and I'll go ahead and just attack the one that I have targeted with my
Okay.
this one. If I miss,
Unfortunately, that is a miss. As your stinger. What's that?
It works with a spell, and they still take half. That's what I did wrong last time.
Oh, even if you miss the attack?
On a failed save, they take half as much as they would.
No. It has to hit in order to invoke the save. It says that you hit and you do damage, and then the target must make a con save.
Okay, or they're poisoned. Got it. If they get hit.
If they get hit, yeah. It's a heavy hit if they get hit, yeah.
Hey, well.
Did you hit the last? I can't remember. Did you hit last time you used it?
No, I missed both times with the thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I hit with the claws both times, and then I missed with the tail both times.
All right. Well, these 2 that you're currently holding them up off of the ground in your claws. They're going to try to whack you with their pseudopods. And they actually do manage to hit you. Well, the first one does. As the other one is going to also attempt to hit you. They're not trying to get out of your grip, they're just trying to whack you. This one unfortunately misses, unfortunately for it. And then it's Ender's turn. Ender, you have these weirdo gelatinous creatures coming up on you. You just heard the sound of a body hitting the ground, and you can no longer hear Eli's voice in this chamber.
Silence.
Did you just say, silence?
No, did he just leave chat? I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to provoke attack. Oh, God, I'm gonna attack spawn 1. Finish this guy up.
Go for it.
Just
That's a hit. So you cut into it with your Biesh katana blade, splattering the creature across the wooden floor. It flies dead away from you.
I'm now going to attack Oplex Pond.
Okay. That is also a hit as you spin around, cutting into the creature, dealing 9 slashing damage. Is that the end of your turn?
I'm going there next.
Oh, you're
And
moving away from it?
I am. I'm going to provoke it.
Okay, it will try to whack you.
Can I use a bonus action to disengage?
No, disengage unless you're a rogue or a
Okay.
monk. It takes your full action to disengage.
That's right. Or a goblin. That's right.
But it misses you. So you're able to get over to the fallen form of your companion. As you turn around, you're now seeing this amorphous, gelatinous, reddish-pink horror rising from beneath the floorboards from behind the bar. Eli, his ass over tea kettle, laying on the ground next to you, unconscious. This creature looking at you. You can see various faces now of half-orcs, humans, shifters, all different types of races, shifting, screaming, laughing, in the surface of this rippling, gelatinous creature. And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
I'm going to say, get away from him, you bitch.
Hey, here goes. Where once the waters rolled calmly by, where ocean's heart did sing, there stalked a lass with a hungry eye and claws that grasp and wring. With lantern lure of a glimmer pot, with treasure in their eyes, below they swam to the gold they thought would await them as their prize. Yet each of them went to surely die, their graves to not be found. For Deshilla and her hungry eye collects the lost and drowned.